All right, today we're jumping into a really special book, The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. Now, what if I told you that a story from, get this, 800 years ago might just hold the secret to figuring out your life today? Sounds kind of crazy, right? Well, in this explainer, we're going to pull apart the two incredible stories at the heart of this novel and explore its big idea that the answer to feeling lost or stuck, well, it hasn't really changed in all that time.
So the way this book is put together is just brilliant. It's basically a story inside another story. You've got these two timelines that couldn't be more different. One set in our modern world, the other a sweeping historical tale. And Shafak weaves them together to get at one huge idea, how love can completely, and I mean completely, change a person. The book kicks off with this really powerful image. Think about a life that's like a perfectly still lake. It's calm, it's predictable, but maybe it's also a little boring, a little stagnant. Now what happens when someone throws a stone right into the middle of it? That one little ripple, that one single disruption, it changes the whole surface. And that's exactly what this story's all about.
Okay, so let's meet our main characters. We're going to follow two incredible journeys that run side by side. One's a modern-day housewife named Ella, and the other, well, it's the legendary poet Rumi.
First up is Ella. So picture this. She's in her 40s, living in a nice suburb, has a family, the whole deal. But her marriage is kind of empty, you know? It's all very comfortable, very safe, very predictable. She is that still water we were just talking about. But you have to wonder, right? At what point does that comfortable safety start to feel more like a prison? So, to shake things up, Ella gets a job reading manuscripts for a literary agency. And the very first one she picks up, it throws her head first into a totally different reality. We're talking 13th century Anatolia. Think war, conflict, total chaos. Yeah, it's pretty much the exact opposite of her quiet suburban life.
And inside this manuscript, we meet two figures who are going to change everything. This is where the story really gets deep, diving into Sufi mysticism through the eyes of two amazing people, a famous scholar named Rumi and this wild wandering dervish, Shams of Tabriz. I mean, these two guys are like night and day. Rumi, he's the man. He's a celebrated preacher, super respected, everyone loves him. He's all about intellect, order, doing things by the book. And then there's Shams. He's a whirlwind, a total outsider. He wanders from town to town, challenging everything people believe in, pushing their buttons, because he thinks real truth isn't found in cozy sermons, but in blowing things up. And here's where it all connects. Remember that stone being thrown into the lake? Well, for Ella, this story is the stone. As she reads about this explosive friendship between Rumi and Shams, it starts to create ripples in her own life. This 800-year-old story starts to shake up her very modern, very quiet world.
So, what exactly is in this manuscript? Well, it's built around the teachings of Shams, and they're laid out as the 40 rules of love. But listen, this isn't about dating advice, not at all. This is a deep philosophy for how to live a life of meaning, a life connected to something bigger. It's an answer to just going through the motions.
Okay, rule number one sets the tone for everything. Shams basically says, look, all the religious rules and doctrines, they're not the point. They're just signposts, tools to help you along. The real destination, the real goal, is what you find inside yourself, that direct connection to the divine.
And he has this amazing way of explaining it. He says, religion is like a candle. Sure, it gives you light, it helps you see the path, but are you supposed to just stare at the candle? No, you're supposed to use the light to find your way. For Shams, the rules are the candle, but the destination is that real personal experience of love and God that goes way beyond anyone's set of instructions. Then you get to a rule like this one, number 17, and it's all about imperfection. The idea here is that we're all a work in progress. None of us are finished, or like a piece of art that God is constantly working on. So you can stop trying to be perfect, because the whole point is the journey of becoming, not arriving at some finish.
And this quote, wow. Humanity is a fine art of skilled penmanship, where every single dot is equally important. It's just such a beautiful idea, right? It means you're not just some random person, some cog in a giant machine. You are a crucial dot in a giant, beautiful picture. Every single one of us matters. Without you, the picture's not complete.
And finally, we hit Rule 40, the big one, the one that ties it all together. And it's simple, really. A life without love? It doesn't count. It's just empty. And we're talking about all kinds of love here, for other people, for yourself,
for something spiritual. That search, that quest for love, is what gives our lives meaning.
But here's the key. This isn't about just sitting around waiting for love to find you. The book says the moment you even start looking for it, you start to change. It transforms you from the inside out. And that's exactly what we see happening to both Rumi, all those centuries ago, and to Ella in her quiet suburban home.
So, let's bring it all together. This is where those two separate stories really click into place. We get to see how this one ancient philosophy completely turns two lives upside down, even though they're separated by almost a millennium. And it's incredible how their transformations mirror each other. Look at Rumi. He was a celebrated preacher, right? He throws it all away, his reputation, his social standing, all for a mystical connection and poetry. Then you look at Ella. She throws away her security, her predictable life, for a chance at real, genuine love. They both abandon the safe life for something true.
So what's the big takeaway? The book is basically saying that a real spiritual journey isn't just about redecorating your life. Nope, it's about demolishing the whole thing and building a new one from scratch. And it doesn't matter why your life feels empty, whether it's because you're trapped by rigid rules or just bored by your comfortable routine. The answer, the book argues, is a kind of love that forces you to let go of everything you thought you knew.
And that brings us to the very end, where the book turns the spotlight right back on you, on me, on all of us. It leaves us with this one simple question. It is never too late to ask yourself, am I ready to change the life I am living? So you have to think about your own life, your own still waters. Are you ready for that stone? Are you ready to change?